Good evening, viewers, and welcome to Time with your Banker and Financial Advisor, sponsored by Securities and Exchange Commission and Databank. We'll take some few commercials. We'll be back. Welcome back, and thank you for watching Time with your Banker and Financial Advisor, sponsored by Databank and the Securities and Exchange Commission. Yeah, welcome again, Mr. Adamensah.
Thank you very much.
Good evening.
Good evening, and thanks for having me again.
Mr. Adamensah, last week we deliberated a lot on what Databank does, and what really caught my attention and interest is the fact that you give financial independence to individuals. Instead of individuals taking loans, you encourage them to rather save and have power over their monies, and then you inculcate the habit of investing in people at a very younger age. Yeah. So you've been targeting the universities, and you've been advising individuals and institutions to have investments with Databank. Yes. Actually. Yes. But when we were about wrapping up, we wanted to tackle the issue of Databank having some difficulties in recent times. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I think these are social media rumors that have been making the rounds. It's not the first time. I mean, the last time was in March. I think that's what you are referring to. But it's not the first time. We've been getting some of these social media, I'll call mischief every now and then, but it doesn't really we are quite unfazed about it because of how we know we operate and what we do and how we do our things. Granted, I think it's heightened a bit due to the political situation we find ourselves in, because whether we like it or not, our founder is Kenneth Oriata, who is the Minister of Finance. So that then puts us in a political light. But he's separated from his business completely, because this is an institution. Completely. And the owner must be outside actually his business. Completely. And I'll explain a bit. And just so people know, we have over 300,000 clients. I'm not sure 300,000 clients are all politically oriented towards one party. People have come in because they know that they are dealing with a credible institution. That is the word. They are dealing with an institution that is governed properly, an institution whose governance structures are as the law requires. We do not do things. An institution that conforms with the regulators and everybody. Regulations. So, just very quickly, we have a very independent board. And just so people know, I am the only, executive who serves on some of these boards. It's not like you have people who are all over our place and are on the board. So it's the executives who are also on the board, and there's no separation of power. No, and I serve on literally 8 boards within the Databank group, because our products are also boards on their own. But you are the CEO of the group, yes, but so you should know what is going on in all the other but the point I'm making is that in most institutions or most companies in Ghana, you will find out that the boards are the same as the management, literally, without much independence in them. There is no separation. We are completely independent, and we have several independent board members. And let me touch on a very important part of our business. That's the investment committee. Now, we have an investment committee that is also made up of independent people. Now, these people are making sure that we are going according to the investment guidelines that we have given to the Securities and Exchange Commission. We cannot, or Kojo on my own, cannot just get up and say, put money here or put money there or put money there. No, that's not how it works. The investment committee goes through the logic that we have used and the reasons why we are going to invest in A, B, or C, so that all risks are properly mitigated. So the rumors that keep coming, it doesn't surprise me, but just to assure clients out there. And I think the latest one said we'll collapse in a month or something.
That is impossible.
We're even stronger than ever, you know. So it's just to assure people that the way we do our business and the way we conform to what the law says and what the regulator demands. I keep saying that if you do things according to what the law says, the probability that you will go under is very, 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 very low. I mean, nothing is 100%. I mean, we are human, so we would make an error here, an error there. But the way the law is structured, if you follow it to the letter, it's very unlikely that you are going to fall victim of any of such rumors that keep coming. So yeah, I just want to reassure the public that we are an extremely well-governed organization with very independent-minded people on all our boards and sub-boards who will not allow us, because they are also people who have invested in the company and their interests are also vested there, who will just sit back and allow things to go down. No way.
So the rumors are baseless?
Well, they are totally, I think that I'll use your word, totally baseless rumors, so to speak. And I think it just gained currency just because our founder finds himself in a political position. But that's not our doing, and it has absolutely nothing to do with our day-to-day business. I mean, I don't even see him. I haven't seen him
but what even baffles me is that the man is not even part of the day-to-day running of the institution.
It's just mischief that people are putting out there, and I don't know what the motivation is, but it will not rock us. I mean, there's a favorite saying that we could be shaken, but we will never
be moved.
Never.
You are like Mount Zion. Never be shaken, never be moved.
We'll never be moved. So and we'll continue. I just want to say we'll continue to do things properly. Our desire is not about making money quickly. Our desire is to ensure that our clients come in, invest, and we tell them what the right thing to do is, and when they want their money, they will get it. That is the most important thing, that you leave our doors knowing that when you want your money, you will get it.
So clients should be comfortable that they have invested with Databank.
Yes, they must. And they must also try and read the kinds of material that we put out there. A lot of the times, they are not bothering to even monitor their own account, such that when some rumor comes, because they've not been following, then they panic. But if you've been going, reading our annual reports, reading our fund fact sheets, going onto our website, Databank website, that's www.databankgroup.com, to read the kind of material that we've put there, follow your statement, be interested in your statement, be interested in our annual general meetings. I just wanted to clarify on the governance structure and how people should not think one person is just there making decisions. I talked about our investment committee. I talked about the independence of our boards. And most of the viewers will likely be retail clients who have been buying into M Fund, B Fund, Eddy Fund, ARC Fund, and EPAC. Each of these products are structured by law, by the Securities and Exchange Committee's law, to be companies on their own. And each of these companies, so to speak, have their own independent boards as well.
Okay.
So the way we operate, every board comes every quarter to come and ask questions. We who are in management, that, okay, how much money came? Betty brought 100 CDs. What did you do with the 100 CDs? Where did you take that 100 CDs? Is it within the confines of the law? What are the risks associated with that investment that you've made? These risks, how are you mitigating them? So every quarter, these questions come and we have to answer. We produce reports and we use all those reports to guide and make sure that we do not put investors' money at unnecessary risk. And I did indicate that the board members themselves are customers of Databank, and they have interest to make sure that their monies are also protected. So we do not take unnecessary risk. We do not just, I can't on my own volition wake up on Monday morning and say A or B or Mr. So and so, send money here, send money there. I think this deal is good or that deal is good. I can't do that.
Okay. Viewers, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back. This program is sponsored by Databank and Securities and Exchange Commission. Welcome back, viewers. It's very interesting. It's been very, very, very interesting and very insightful to the dealings of Databank. Mr. Adai-Mensah, or do I call you Kojo?
Kojo, I prefer Kojo, honestly.
Because
nobody calls me Mr. Adai-Mensah at the office, so everybody calls me Kojo. So it's sounding even odd.
Because when I mentioned, I think
it sounds very odd. It sounds very odd.
So can you give us a brief advice on pensions, just a brief, because we did spoke about that last week.
So there's a new pensions law that has come into effect, and prior to this new law, the only people who managed pensions in this country was Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNET. So everybody knows SNET, and they were the ones managing all pensions in the country. However, the new law, as promulgated, gave the opportunity for private sector participation in the pension space. So today, SNET manages what we call only the tier one. Tier one of the pension. So there are now 3 tiers in the pensions environment. Now, with the new law and private sector participation, I'll say there are 2 or 3 main sets of people. So we have the trustees, we have the fund managers. These are the 2 main players within the private sector. So let's say company A exists, they do their tier 1 all right, that one goes to SNET. Then they will have their tier 2 and tier 3. They will appoint a trustee who will be the trustee for their tier 2s and 3. Tier 3 is voluntary, but tier 2 is compulsory. Yes, that one is statutory. You must do it. And it is the trustees who will decide who the fund manager will be. So that is where a company like Databank comes in. We are not trustees in the pension space. We are fund managers. So company A would decide who their trustee will be. The trustee then, based on the monies they are getting for the tier 2, decides which fund manager they will prefer. So normally we would have to send proposals and go and do presentations bidding to be fund managers. But the trustee is not obliged to deal with only one fund manager anyway. They decide
it's like putting all your
eggs in one basket. But they will deal with 2 or 3 depending on who is good. The person may get more. So, and then the tier 3, as I said, is the voluntary one but has some tax benefits. So I will encourage everybody watching to ensure, especially if they are in the formal sector, to go back to their financial directors and their heads of HR, human resources, to ask if they don't have a tier 3, why they do not. And I'll encourage that you have it, because this retirement thing is a serious matter. It's a very, very serious matter. We do not take retirement seriously till we're about 55, and then we see that, whoa, I'm getting close to the statutory age, and it's caught up with us. Very quickly, I would like to also touch on the informal sector, because according to statistics today, only about 2 million people are contributing to SNET.
2 million
out of maybe 13, 14, 15 million working. Let's say working people. So where are the rest? What is happening to the rest? Are they really preparing for their retirement?
They are in the informal sector.
Yes, they're in the informal sector, but they will one day stop working. Sometimes they think they will work till forever. You cannot work forever. Or even if you are working, the kind of energy that you will be putting into your work when you are 30, when you are 40, you cannot have the same level of energy when you are 60 or when you are 70. Nature will definitely catch up with you. So if you are in the informal sector, I would even recommend strongly that you can come to a place like Databank today. Even though we are fund managers, we will be able to help you and guide you with your whole pension structure. If you are in the formal sector, please ask questions, check, go to SNET, go to your trustees, get your statements, and check whether what you are due is actually being given to you. Because you don't want to be at 58 when you are now preparing and then starts getting shocks. So that is essentially the 3-tier, but we manage pension funds. And I would like to say at Databank, we're probably one of the best pension fund managers in Ghana.
I hear. What does one need to open an account with Databank?
Oh, it's very simple. I mean, like any other financial institution, we'll need a valid ID, like a driver's license, a passport, the voter ID card. You just walk into any of, or you can go online as well with the necessary ID, proof of address. Now there's the digital address, it exists, so it's not as difficult as a couple of years back. And that's it, and you can open an account.
Where can we locate your branches?
Okay, so currently we have 19 locations.
19?
Yes, 19. And still hopefully
still
growing.
Expanding.
Yes. Our main head office is in Adabraka, 61 Barnes Road, but I'll give the typical Ghanaian type of directions where it's from Tigo head office going towards Cathedral.
From TUC
okay, maybe from TUC traffic light. That is a better landmark. From TUC traffic light going towards Asylum Calvary Methodist Church. Just before Calvary Methodist Church, it's on your right. You see Databank's headquarters there. But that said, we're also in Kumasi, in Edum. We're in Takrady in the SNIT building. Tamale also in the SNIT building. Sunyani, we are on top of the main head office of GCB Bank in Sunyani. We're there. Then we have a partner arrangement with GT Bank, where we are in some of their locations. So if you go to GT Bank in Airport, in Medina, in Osu, in Ashaiman, in Takwa, you'll find in Kaswa, you'll find as the Kaswa was our latest. We are also in Meridian Plaza in Tema.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've touched on almost all the locations.
Yeah, almost all. You've done 6 months into this year.
Yeah.
What do we look forward to?
Oh, yeah. Still a lot of good. Our digital transformation is still on. And I think we are going to make investing easier and easier and easier to our clients and prospective clients. A lot of the time, people are feeling maybe lazy to actually get up and walk to a place. You just want to relax wherever you are and be able to, invest. So we are working round the clock to make sure that we make investing easier and easier just from from your palm, from your mobile phone, or any very convenient thing that you want. So we are expanding the channels and we are improving the existing channels to make investing easier, because it's a decision that is difficult already as it is. And then when the process becomes cumbersome, then you don't want to do it at all. So we are going to make it much, much easier for you in the next 6 months.
Looking at where you are sitting as the CEO of Databank Group, how do you see the economy in perspective?
Things are improving. The reforms are ongoing, especially the banking reforms. I would have wished that it happened quicker and it settled quicker. I think it's dragged on for a bit, and that still is hurting investor confidence. So when we go out there and we're talking to the investing public, we still find out that people are not confident at all. People are not sure what's going to happen. And I think the earlier we brought confidence into the financial sector, the better for all of us, especially with investment banking. So I think a lot more needs to be done quicker to restore confidence in the investing public.
Any other word?
Yeah, I mean, just generally to Ghanaians, I think what we should be doing when we are thinking of investment is not to be in a hurry and not to be greedy for quick, huge returns. I mean, anytime somebody is promising you a return, you have to defer to government's return. Okay, so government 91-day is currently at maybe 14.7, and somebody is promising you double that. You need to start asking questions. What is it that they are doing so differently that they are able to give you so much, and how sustainable it is it? So it's very important, and that goes to the investing public. To my colleagues, the investment banks and the various financial companies, I would really, really say we need to go back to our governance structures. We need to follow what the law says about the governance structures. In the normal banking sector, the central bank has released a new set of rules around governance. even if it doesn't affect you, I think those rules are good. You need to go and read them and then let it guide the way we do business. If we all do business the right way, it inures to our own good. There's no need trying to cut corners to beat competition. If we all do it well and we do it right, we all grow together, and it's the benefit of the country.
And we all grow a better economy.
Yes.
And we all get a better Ghana.
Exactly.
Thanks for coming, Mr. You said I should call you Kweju.
Yes, it's been a pleasure, Betty.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is where we end today's episode on Time with Your Banker and Financial Advisor. We've been talking with Mr. Kweju Adaimensa. He says I should call him Kweju. and we've learned a lot. I hope we will sit down well, think into what we want to do with our monies, and then know where to invest it properly. If we have difficulties, we can always go knocking at the door of Databank. Databank is always ready to help us make a good decision on the monies we are holding, our extra monies that we need to invest. I wouldn't say even extra monies. We really need to invest, especially towards our pensions. See you same time again next week on Time with Your Banker and Financial Advisor, sponsored by the Securities and Exchange Commission and Databank. I'm your banker and financial advisor, Betty Ai.